Welcome to manucloudlearning.com. Today I am going to demonstrate adding LAN space to Esxi 6.7 standalone host. I am having Windows based ISCSI storage in order to achieve this goal. Let me go to the Esxi server first. I am just going to show you step by step how to do that. First of all, this is our Esxi host, that is a 6.7 version. In my previous video, I have clearly explained how to install and configure the Esxi. So let me log into the Esxi using the web console. Root was my username. Let me enter the password over here. Yes, we log into Esxi box. As you can see here, we have only few fields. It's very user-friendly interface. They just come up with host, virtual machine, storage and networking. These are the parts which is available. So in our case, in order to achieve this remote LAN in our Esxi box, first thing is I need to configure the networking part. Let me go to the networking part first. First of all, these are the tab as you can see here, right? Port group, virtual switches, physical NICs, VM kernel NICs, TCP stacks and firewall rules. If I go to the physical NICs, I have 3 physical NICs. VNIC 0, 1, 2. These are the NICs. NIC 0 is tagged with the management, and NIC 1 just I tagged only to the VMware workstation inside the kernel level. That means Esxi kernel level I didn't tag anything. Okay, let me do one by one. First of all, I am just going to create a virtual switch. Let me add a standard virtual switch for storage network. Just say add virtual switch. In here you can give any proper label for this switch name. I am just going to give storage. I am having, there are 2 VNICs which is available, 1 and 2, 0 which we used for the management network. Let me choose NIC 1. And link discovery, this is and all by default you can go with. The protocol by default which is using Cisco CDP. Just say add. I got a successful message over here. Virtual switch has been created. If I click inside this storage virtual switch, I will see how the connectivity, vSwitch topology, everything will be listed over here. As you can see, there is no port group has been mapped over here, just VNIC which is connected to this vSwitch. Okay, let me go back to the networking tab and let me create a port group for this virtual switch. I am just going to add a port group. Port group name also I am just going to use as same storage. In here I have an option to pick which virtual switch need to be used for this port group. Let me choose storage, which was created at earlier point of time. Security part I am just going with the default. Just say add. Again I got a successful message. Your port group storage was successfully created. Okay. Now next thing is just navigate to the VM kernel NIC. Now we are good to add this storage NIC to the VM kernel NIC. Just go to the add VM kernel NIC. Only, as you can see here, only one NIC is already added, that is for the management. When we configure the Esxi itself, we have added over here. Now we are just doing it from console for this storage part. Let me add the VM kernel NIC. In here I am just going to select port group as storage, which was created earlier, and similar way let me go and use static IP address for this interface. I am just using 192.168.3.xip, that is 90. Before that, let me show you guys how the network has been here. Let me go to the storage network. In storage tab, this particular NIC, this is the interface, right? So 192.168.3.51, this is the interface IP. I am just going to use same 3.xip only, that is I am using the 90. Your management we were using 192.168.1.90. In storage network is 3.x, that is 3.90. Let me use the subnet mask, that is default one. Let it be TCP stack. here we have a couple of stacks available. If the purpose of this is for provisioning stacks or vMotion, that we need to decide. In our case, it is a TCP stack. Services, what and all services need to be associated with this VM kernel NIC. vMotion is available, provisioning, fault tolerance, NFC replication, similar way just replication, management. I just want to use only for the management purpose. Just say create. See, good to see. Yeah, VMK1 was successfully created. As you can see, there is one more VM kernel NIC that is for storage. Everything is we have configured, right? In here you can see, right, 192.168.3.90 is the IPv4 address. Okay, so we don't use any IPv6. Later on we can disable these options for that particular NICs and all. That is, at this point of time, that will not make any issues for us. So let me go to the next steps. Next steps, what I need to do is just navigate to the storage. As you can see, we have only one data store, that is a local data store. Okay, I have an option adapter, devices, persistent memory. Okay, if I want to add a ISCSI storage, our network part that has been taken care now. Next is storage part. If I right click on the storage part, I have an option to configure ISCSI. Just click on that. ISCSI is nothing but it's internet SCSI, right? So that will work through the Ethernet channel. By default, in our case, it is it's enabled. So I just need to configure which NIC we are going to use for that. I am not using any authentication such as TAP or any other protocol. That's for this purpose. I am not going to use. So let me just add the port binding for this. I want to use this storage. If you are not configuring this network properly, you will not able to see anything. So always we will use we need to use the proper labeling and all. It is easy to identify, right? So VMK kernel NIC 1, this is one, right? So let me select the appropriate one, so that traffic will carry out only through this particular interface. Let me click on that. I am just going to give a dynamic target. As you are aware, ISCSI will use, this is the port number 3260. Let me give the ISCSI target server, that is Windows based ISCSI server. Let me give the IP address of that particular server. 192.168. 1.2 is sorry, not 1. I am using, there is a particular network for this storage, that is 3.2. Just say save configuration. Yep, we are good to successfully configure ISCSI for this. Okay, that client level has been completed. Now let me go to the storage server. 192.168.1.2 is my storage server management IP address. Okay, but only for the storage presentation I am using 192.168.3.x IP address. In Windows Server, this is file and storage service. ISCSI, there is an option which was already, ISCSI server has been already configured. I'm just going to create just a 100 GB LAN for this particular ESXi. It's a standalone. The next video I'll show how to create a clustered LAN and all. So in this video I'm just going to show only the standalone direct presentation to the specific ESXi node. Okay, so let me see some space over here. ISCSI storage 1. No, I don't want to create over here. Let me go to the next hard disk. ISCSI storage 2. Let me create one more folder, VMware 6.7 test. Okay, inside this only I am just going to create a LAN. If I want to create a new virtual ISCSI LAN in Windows, first thing is I need to install the service ISCSI server. After that I just need to create a new ISCSI virtual disk. Just create the ISCSI virtual disk. If you select any of the partition, the space will the full space will take for entire partition. Normally we don't do that. So what we can do is I can select a custom path. Type a custom path. Just browse the specific location. In our case, this is 930 GB storage 2, and we have created one test folder, that is VMware 6.7 test. Say next. Now this will ask for the disk name. Let me use the same file name as disk name also. Remove the slash. Okay, now it is clear. Say next. In here I just want to go with the dynamic expanding storage, that based on the size it will get increased. I am just going to use 100 GB for as LAN size. Let me go to the next option. Okay, in here I need to create, there is no target is there, IQ number is not, previously I never configured for this particular ESXi node. Let me create a new ISCSI target. Target name is, we can go with the same VMware 6.7 test. I can just give 100 GB storage. Say next. Yes, specify target name can one or more character not valid. Okay, that's true. We should not use any dot or anything. I am just giving without space everything. There is no dot, special character, nothing being used. VMware 6.7 test. Say next. Now I need to add what is my ISCSI clients. Just say add. In here I have a couple of options. If you are using Windows Server, you can directly browse from the AD. In this case, I am just using either IQN number or DNS name, IP address. There are many options which is available, MAC address. I will just use IP address for that interface. 192.168. Let it use 3 dot storage network itself. 3.90. If I specify 1 dot means that will this will use the management network to share the storage traffic. I don't want to do it that way. So let me use the 3.90 series. Say OK. Next. I am not going to make any security. Enable CHAP and all. I need to have a service. So at this point of time I am not making any CHAP authentication and all. So let me go with default. Say next. This is a summary for this, right? ISCSI virtual disk location. Management is my ISCSI server. ISCSI server normally we don't cluster, because if you cluster you cannot use the local space, right? So you can use only the remote. So this machine is not a clustered one. So this is a local physical path. In F drive this is a folder and this is a hard disk name. Everything is mentioned over here. And ISCSI virtual disk properties, it's a 100 GB size and name is 6.7 test. Target properties, so and so, everything is highlighted over here. Access servers, these are the access we have granted. Security has been disabled. There is no security for this data traffic. It's since it is in a test environment, we don't care about the security part. Say next. Not next, it's a create option. Yep, that has been completed. So now I wish to assign this LAN. Just say assign ISCSI. We have already created VMware 7 test. This is assign. Say next. Assign. Just say assign. So storage part is done. Now we need to add the same. Now the presentation part is done. Now we need to add the same from ISCSI option inside this ESXi. This is my ESXi box. I'm just going to add a storage. If I want to add a storage like this, go to the storage tab. Now we are into networking. We just navigate to the storage, right? Just say new data store. Create a new VMFS storage, or add an existing VMFS, or expand existing one. Mount an NFS data store. Let me go with virtual machine file system data store. Say next. As of now, nothing is displaying over here. Let me just rescan. Devices. Now only the local is listed. Let me try to do the rescan. We'll see how it's work. Or refresh. No, not displayed over here. ISCSI adapter which we have created, everything is look online, there is no problem with that and all, just a scan issues. I'll do one thing, let me sign out and try once again. Let me go to the ISCSI storage, and in my storage server also will display whether it is connected or not. Let me verify that as well. 192, the current status of this one is not connected. Okay, that is true. 51 is my ESXi hosted. Okay, in this case it's a test scenario, so no need to worry about that. We'll just go ahead and reboot this particular machine. If I want to reboot in console also I can reboot. I am just going to reboot from here by pressing the F12. It will ask for the password. I don't have any virtual machine created under this ESXi. Forcibly terminate running VMs means I don't need to use that option also. By pressing F11 I will be able to reboot. Let me press F11. Reboot in progress. Now we will not able to navigate anything because the reboot is going on. This is just a loaded dashboard. We will observe for the reboot status. It's in progress. Normally it will take 2 to 3 minutes. Let me go to the storage server. Actually this is our storage server, that is 3.90. So this one was lab. No, this is not the up-to-date one. The current one is 6.7 VMware test.bsdx. This is previous, it's an old one, we don't need to worry about that. Let me see the status of VMware ESXi boot. Yes, it's almost up. We'll wait for a few minutes. We'll see what is in dashboard, how it's showing. Let me do the sign out. Let me refresh the tab. Yes, it's look like it's appeared. Let me log in once again. No, not it. No, still it is being loaded. I believe it's a cache page, it's not the correct one. Will take a few more minutes. Let me verify my utilization. In performance, memory out of 15.4 which is available, 10 GB is available, 4.9 in use. I am using DDR3 1600 Hz RAM inside my physical box. It's 8 GB into 8 GB, like that it is. Okay. Meanwhile, what we can do is we can just see the ping for request 192 to 168 1.90 is host IP address, management IP address. Yeah, only the login page and all need to be appear over here. Yes, still it is going on. Let me verify the ISCSI networks. That is 3.90. Yes, that interface also up. If you are not configuring all these settings from the without creating the virtual switch, that is impossible. It won't connect to the virtual to the physical. So all the settings is look good. That's the reason we are able to get the echo request and all. So now almost kernel was loaded. So I think it will take just less than 1 minute. If you are using Blade server or such as high-end Cisco UCS and all, it will just boot within 1 minute. So in this case, we are using just a demonstration purpose. We are using the normal virtual machine. That's the reason it is taking unusual time. So this having only 8 GB memory. That is a minimum requirement for this setup. Yes, we are good. Now let me go to the dashboard again. Yes, we are able to log in. Let me go to the storage and verify whether the storage has been discovered or not. We have just presented exact 100 GB, right? So let me go to the device. Yes, we are able to see one of the LAN over here. That is 100 GB. I believe previously I have presented the LAN which I didn't edit it for one of the previous demonstrations. So no, that we can ignore. In our case 100 GB which we have presented at this point of time. So I am just going to use, this is a serial number, right? So 4956F. Let me add this storage over here. There are same option is available in many places. If you right click also, you will have a new data store, or if you just selected this item and top also you have a new data store. Let me go this option, data store 9. I'm just going to give us data store 100 GB. Say next. Yes, this is one of the available one which is still active, so that's the reason it is listed. Let me just select on next. Yes, in here they were asking select the partition options. These are the partitions option available. These are the file system available. Virtual machine file system 5 and version 6 which is available. Okay, if I am using use the full disk means it will take the 100 GB full of size. After that BMF partition with this blue color highlighted is a BMF partition. This is just a diagram, it's just a display, right? So if I want to custom instead that total LAN, if I want to use just 75 or something like that, if I want to do customization, if I say next, I'll have an option to get the custom option. Okay, or here itself I have an option to customize, right? So I don't want to do any customization. Instead of that, let me use the full disk space. Say next. This is option, right? I have given this is a name for this LAN, data store 100 GB, and this is Microsoft ISCSI 5.6 ending with 5.6F. That is the disk level. So use the full disk VMFS latest version which we are going to use, so that we can use the latest features from this file system, right? Say next. Yes, the entire content of this disk about erased. Yes, that is we are aware of it, right? It's just a warning. Say yes. The activity you can see it on the down right. It's still showing running. Yep, that has been completed. Now let me verify. Yes, we have something called storage, right? If I go to the, that is not the correct one. Let me go to this one and let me go to the data store option. Yes, we have the 100 GB storage which we have created, right? That is data store 100 GB. Okay, so I am still seeing the 250, right? I'll show you how to disable the LAN from that storage box also. Let me go to my Windows based ISCSI storage. This one we are not using, right? Let me disable this. Yes, this will not publish anymore. It will take some time for refresh to the end client. Let me go to the dashboard. and say refresh. Yeah, if you log off and log in next time, this will disappear. The 250 which I have disabled from there, which is no longer required. Yes, this is the option to create. First I need to have a presenter run, then if I have everything, then I need to give a just a logical name for that data store. Okay, then it will be listed over here. Then say by pressing next and all, you will be able to do the partition and you can create provision a data store here. Now if I want to create a virtual machine, those options I'll just going to cover the next video. I'll just show you how to create the provision the virtual machine using the local space or remote space. Okay, thank you for watching. If you subscribe my channel, you will get a lot of upcoming videos such as Hyper-V, Sense Server, anything related to Azure or AWS. Most of the video which I am going to preparing now, and I am just going to upload soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.